تعجب.
Now that little satire is out of the way, Sonic Mania. It's what the fans have been clamoring for years, but does it deliver on showcasing truly spectacular 2D Sonic action? Well, yes, but we're not there yet. This game is a true testament to love and care paying off in a tremendous way. Well, let's have some fun, shall we? The game starts and already I love it. This animation is spectacular, not to mention the music. Matter of fact, let's just get that out of the way right now. All of this music is amazing. Another thing that's amazing are all the callbacks to Sonic 3. Most notably with Blue Spheres, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all being playable, Knuckles getting his own level design sometimes, and the file select. Seriously, that's like ripped straight out of Sonic 3. When the game first starts, you have one of 5 options, but you have to play through the game to unlock any of them, so let's do that first. We'll start with Sonic and Tails. So immediately it's a cutscene. Even Sonic Colors didn't do that. Anyway, you're on Angel Island, and the scene rips straight out of Sonic 3. And Eggman is there too! Oh no! Well, now he has the Phantom Ruby, which, if we're being honest, is just a marketing tactic to try and get classic Sonic lovers to play Sonic Forces. But you know, classic Sonic is actually in that game, so really, what's the point? Moving on, he uses the Phantom Ruby. You know, that's a stupid name. I'm just gonna call it Redstone. He uses the Redstone to transport Sonic and Co to Green Hill Zone. Again. Seriously, can we have one Sonic game where the first level isn't in some way related to Green Hill? The last one to do that was Sonic Colors, and everyone loved that game for its interesting and new ideas for levels. Why can't you do that, Sega? Or more accurately, Azuka. He's the head of Sonic Team, in case you didn't know. It's kind of a vital thing to know when you're criticizing something. Well, mechanically, not much has changed in Sonic 1. It's still the perfect tutorial without being a tutorial level. It rewards exploration like most of the levels will after it. It has multiple pathways that can interlope with each other, and it is fairly easy to run through if you know what you're doing. They take after Angel Island in the second act, however, introducing zip lines and water sections if you're doing the bottom path. That's a recurring theme throughout this game. Water is used as a constant reminder of failure to execute the upper, or better, pathways. This level also introduces you to all the elemental shields, which include the fire shield, which burns wooden bridges and allows Sonic to do a fire dash in midair, the bubble shield, which allows you to breathe underwater and bounce if you're Sonic, and the electric shield, which draws in rings and allows Sonic to perform a double jump. All these shields also protect against their elements, like you can stand in lava with a fire shield, as well as they bounce off small projectiles. At the near end of the first act, you will come across a special ring, which leads into a special stage! These are the places where you can get the 7 Chaos Emeralds, which allow you to become Super Sonic, a near indestructible yellow and invincible version of Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles. As for the stages themselves, they start off how you would think these kinds of things would, but the levels peak in difficulty at around the 4th or 5th level. The 6th and especially 7th level are way too easy for being the finale of these special stages. Anyway, in these levels, you can collect blue spheres to get fast enough to catch the Chaos Emerald, but you have a constant time limit in the form of rings you can collect. But rings do not respawn in multiple labs like blue spheres do, so be wary of that. The bumpers on these stages also act as invisible walls, so just be wary of that too. Anyway, I think it's enough time spent talking about Green Hill, so why don't we just...
Oh shit, it's the Death Egg robot. Oh no! Well, I mean, it's a lot easier this time because you have rings. But still.
Now that we've beaten Eggman, it's off to, wait, who are these guys? Well, me. It's the hard-boiled heavies. The new bad guys of this game. Oh no! I mean, they have cool designs and such, but really, like all the boss fights in this game, except 2, they are pathetically easy. It's off to... chemical plant?
Okay, judges? Yeah, that seems about right.
Well, at the very least, they get the fun from Sonic 2's version. You can still go ridiculously fast, but there are some subtle changes in Act 1. Now, instead of influencing the tube's movements at specific times, you can reach a certain point where the tubes will diverge into 4 different directions. But in Act 2, they introduce this green and blue jello thing, and it honestly becomes much more fun. The dark blue and green jello will hurt you if you're not super or don't have a bubble shield. The light blue jello will bounce you up just a little bit, and the light green jello will bounce you up super high. Higher than my marijuana. That's a joke. These are used in tandem with these syringes that you have to jump on to activate, and altogether, it's a fun level gimmick. It's still almost insanely fast, but it keeps the pace up with slower sections scattered throughout. The boss is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which I would call a very stupid thing to reference if color matching games weren't my shit back when I was 10. Even if you're not as godly as I am at them, the AI is so pathetic, you really just need to get like 3 matches and he's lost. It's quote unquote shit.
Oh boy, it's a new stage! Yay! Come to think of it, the first 2 stages in this game were the same exact ones as Generations, so does that mean... Yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything.
Anyhow, Studiopolis. It's a place. It's filled with all the stuff you'd expect from the setting. Director's chairs that expand out when you stand on them, popcorn machines, does everything have to be a goddamn reference, and all these spotlights you can see all over the place. I like the way how they use the spotlights in the platforming, for the sake of visual refreshment. Matter of fact, can I just say right now, that this game looks incredible. All of the game is made to look like a Saturn Classic Sonic game, and that aesthetic really pops out with limited use of 3D modeling. But not only that, but like 90% of this game is sprite-based. This is made of sprites. That is incredible, and quite frankly, it's astounding. That is incredible detail at work. Really does look amazing. Anyway, this level is technically the quote-unquote casino level of the game, but the fact that gambling exists doesn't really make this anything like a casino. There are these little electrical tubes that just take you to point A to point B, which does take away from some of the platforming, but how come I like the tubes from Chemical Plant then? Because they lead to different places depending on where you want to go. They don't just lead to one place every time. Enough rambling, this level is still freaking awesome. Everything works in this level's favor, even if I do feel the second act falls flat on some occasions. Also, those little funnel things could go frick themselves! It's Flying Battery! I honestly don't think it's a level too much in Sonic 3, so seeing it here really doesn't do anything for me. It's still fun, but definitely not as fun as some of the other levels. It's linear to a T, and when it does open up a bit, it can be quite overwhelming. Other than that, there's the fact that the 2 acts barely have any differences except it's windy in the first one and it's raining in the second one, and boss fight just kind of drags on, but you know, still fun. Kind of. Don't kill me, Sonic 3 fans. I like games.
See, that's my least favorite stage in this game, and I still like it. This is the bar I've set for Mania, and so far, it has been at least fairly linear, with a few dips here and there. I'm talking about you, first acts. Get your shit together. You gotta get it together. You gotta get your shit together. Put your shit, put it in a bunch, get it together.
Oh my god, Press Garden, look at the graphics, look at the music, look at the cherry blossom trees, look at that paper. The paper looks freaking incredible! Trees being harvested, hell yeah! Ninjas with swords, hell yeah! That music, hell yeah! So, I like the stage a lot. Kind of brought out my inner child in a way. It looks amazing, the music is incredible, and most importantly, it's just fun. That's all. Stardust Speedway is back. Why? I mean, CD is a fun game, but when it comes to level design, well... And that design follows through with Sonic Mania, unfortunately. While the level is fun to just speed run through, it's incredibly linear and all too open at the same time. Somehow. And the second act is a clusterfuck of weird design elements and visually puking glitter all over the screen. And the boss, you know what? It's not that bad. I don't know why everyone seems to hate it, but I personally like it. It's not the holy grail of boss fights, but it's a fun multi-phase fight, which this game sorely lacks in. Hydrocity, 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 Hydrocity.
I know. We'll ask God. How do you pronounce it, God?
Hydrocity?
All right. Thanks. Shit.
Hydrocity is a fun stage, but it just feels uninteresting. They tried spicing it up with the bow mechanics and the bubbles, but it just feels the same as in Sonic 3. And I didn't really like it there either. Please don't kill me. It just seems incredibly linear, with no alternate paths, especially in the second act. Just feels empty. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's still incredibly fast, and for a water level, the water is not intrusive to the platforming. Although that may be because, for the most part, you're not in control in the water, either through currents or through bubbles from Sonic 2. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's plenty of secrets, but they're not very hard to find, so they're really not secrets. Anyway. Overall, it's okay. It's just too linear for me. Oh boy, Mirage Saloon. Can't wait for Sky Chase. So this level fluctuates in quality depending on who your character is. As Sonic or Tails, you ride in the tornado and essentially do Sky Chase from Sonic 2 again. But this time, there's a little platforming section that's not challenging at all, and a boss fight that sucks more dicks than a straight woman with a healthy sex life. However, as Knuckles, you get to play a completely different first act, specifically catering to your abilities and movement options. There's a ton of secrets you can only get as Knuckles, and to boot, it's incredibly fun. It's also very aesthetically different than Sonic and Tails level in the best way possible. Act 2, on the other hand, kicks ass so much more than Act 1. It's the same for all three characters, and it uses the Western Desert setting to its fullest advantage, with giant sarsaparilla bottles, bar stools, and barrels. Lots and lots of barrels. At the beginning of the act, you're bound to meet with three of the oldest, most forgotten Sonic characters that ever exist. Except for Mighty, we never even forgot you, Mighty. Rip. And that just kind of happens because of fan service. And that's where a big problem in Mania lies, the fan service. I'm not saying fan service is bad, just that it's incredibly distracting from the game you're playing. If it has no effect on the rest of the game, go for it. But when you're banking on it to sell your game, kill yourself. When the bosses of 2 zones in the game require you to know something about Sonic's past, with many more acts just reusing boss fights, and when there's so much more emphasis on the old but not so much on the new, especially when the new is as good as it is in Mania, it can get a little distracting. But the zone's still good.
Oh boy, that zone was so cool. I wonder what's next. It's probably gonna be great and filled with new and interesting. It's Oil Ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Oil Ocean. I mean, it's fine, but if you had to choose a level from Sonic 2 that was wholly neglected by Sonic Team, why not? Mystic Cave, Wing Fortress, Hilltop Zone. You know what? Maybe not Hilltop Zone. Long story short, level is okay. It's nothing mind-shattering, but it's still fun to me. Act 2, on the other hand, introduces the mechanics from St. Obala Zone. You know, the one everyone hates from Sonic 3? Yeah. And they somehow worked it in with another mediocre level to make something cool. What? For one, the smog makes sense, as pollution would be rampant at an oil factory. 2, it goes into the gameplay well, as it depletes your rings at a certain time, giving an incentive to the player to clear the screen besides being able to see. Finally, it makes the level a whole lot more interesting aesthetically. The bosses, though, Jesus Christ, they suck. The first one is probably the only badly designed boss in the game. with you not being able to see the spikes above that will inevitably crush you, or being crushed by the pod libs themselves. Not only that, but the boss itself is a complete and total pussy. Like, 6 hits and he's dead. What a fucking puss. And the Act 2 boss is okay, but it's very possible to be crushed by hiding underneath the raptors, and the way you attack the boss makes it near impossible to not get hit unless you're invincible. So yeah, does kind of suck. Fun level though, if a bit boring. Ugh. Chew. Does that count for a review of Lava Reef while we're at it, Metallic Madness? I'm counting that. Titanic Monarch is a good level. Come at me. Sure, it's linear as heck sometimes, and it can be kind of frustrating with the lightning rods, and it also can be kind of annoying when you get crushed when you're so super, but it looks nice. And superficiality is a trending thing to be in 2017. Act 2 is okay as well, just kind of drags on a bit. But now, let's get into the final boss. Let's start with the playable characters. First, there's Sonic. He can really move. I'm so sorry. Really, he's the fastest of the three. Can use the drop dash, an all-new mechanic that allows the dash as soon as you drop from the above ground. It's actually really fun to use, especially when you're super, because it shakes the screen. And can use the special abilities of all 3 elemental shields. So if you want a middle-of-the-road difficulty, high-speed thrills, and a fun time, you're gonna want to pick Sonic. When did this review turn into an infomercial for a game that's been out for like 4 months? What am I doing with my life? Tails is, for all intents and purposes, the easy mode of this game. He can fly with a limit, mind you, and that's basically it. But that ability alone allows you to skip huge chunks of levels if you're having a tough time, and basically negates platforming in some instances. So if you're a little kid or just a fucking pussy, pick Tails! Don't, I'm not your fucking dad. Finally, there's Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. He'd rather platform using his special abilities, gliding climb on walls for an infinite amount of time. He also likes to flex his muscles. So Knuckles is definitely the hard mode of the game, with his nerf jump compared to the 2 others, and his aforementioned abilities. His level design, whenever it does differ from Sonic Tails, is also incredible, as any character-specific level can be. It kind of upsets me that every level didn't get that treatment for Knuckles, like in Sonic 3, but it's really just a nitpick. To summarize the characters, they're all really fun to play as for different reasons. But my favorite has to be Knuckles, if only for the fact that he gets to skip Sky Chase. I mean, Mirage. No, I mean Sky Chase. Alright, memeing is fun but not too intrusive. Blue spheres are a great way to unlock more content. If you haven't gotten all the gold medals, you're a fucking pleb. The soundtrack is great. Listen to it. The graphics are amazing. Buy this game. It's 10 out of 10. Even if it's fun, I am still having too much fun to pass upon. Oh man, I still have time left, don't I? It's a good game. Buy my merch.
And those are my thoughts on Sonic Mania, the only Sonic game. If you want to tell me what your thoughts about this game are, please tell me in the comments, or tell me how much of a nitpicking faggot I am. Either way, it's fully appreciated. Anyways, have fun and enjoy your life, yeah. Fucking Jew.